So welcome everyone and welcome to the Metta Centre, and thank you so much Venerable Dassa for being here with us today. We are in for a treat, everyone. So Venerable Dassa, he has arrived from Sri Lanka and is visiting Australia for only a short period of time, but he's here at the Metta Centre today to share, and we are going to be in the Mind Lab. So a little bit about Venerable. So Venerable Dassa Thero is a higher ordained Buddhist monk teaching Buddhism to children and young adults in Sri Lanka, Canada, now in Australia, UK, USA, and he has helped children of all ages and young adults overcome challenges such as stress, anxiety, depression, relationship problems, addictions, and more. So we are so fortunate to have him join us here on his short trip in Australia. So Venerable, thank you for being here today. We look forward to this session with you.
Thanks for having me. Okay. Before we start, let's take a moment to worship the Supreme Buddha by chanting Namaskar 3 times. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay. Lastly, I would like to thank Tina and everyone for giving me this opportunity to spread to everyone what I have learned and discovered with my teachers, of course, under my teachers, and what I've learned, and I like to share it to each and every one of you. So, firstly, I want you to first take this more in a scientific approach, meaning this is more like science than anything else. So whatever I say, don't take it at face value. Ask questions, and if you agree or disagree with something, please ask. Please raise your hand and tell me, because this is I like when people, because I want this to be more of a discussion than a sermon, because I enjoy when others, when they interact, and so forth. Therefore I know what sort of things they're thinking. So I want to keep this a discussion and more of like an experiment. I want you to experiment with your lives. And that's why it's called a mind lab. You're experimenting with your lives, which is basically your mind. So we are all on a journey looking for happiness. Now, the question is, have we found it? Have we found happiness? Because if you think about it, that is what everyone wants to do. That is everyone's fundamental aim. They want to be happy. But the question is, have they found it? Children from all around the world, and not just children, adults as well, they do various things to become happy. They watch TV, go on Netflix, they go on social media, they may listen to music, and etc., for happiness. But I want you to take a moment and stop and take a step back and think, are you satisfied? Are you actually satisfied? Meaning, if you were to do something, right? Say, a good example would be, let's say there's a bucket, and the bucket has a hole. And I tell you to fill this bucket with water. And you get a cup, I give you a cup, and you take some water and you put it in the bucket. For how long will you be filling this bucket? forever and ever and ever and ever and ever? No, there'll be a moment where you think, wait, this is useless. That I'm trying to fill this bucket, but it's not going to happen. Why? Because there's a hole in it. Think about it, right? How many hours of music do we have to listen to become happy? How many hours of films do we have to watch to become happy? When can we say, you know what, this is enough? Enough is enough. After I listen to, say, this new album, I'll be satisfied and I don't need to do anything anymore. I'll be happy. How many hours of work do we have to do to finally say, you know what, I'm going to earn X amount of money and say, that's it. It's enough. I'm now happy. I'm now happy. You don't need to do anything else. What do we do to make ourselves happy? And are we really satisfied? So think about it. Are we really satisfied with the things that we do? The ways we search for happiness, do we find it? And the answer is usually no. You'll listen to music until your very last breath. You'll watch movies until your very last breath. Unless you understand, of course, right? But until then, you'll do a lot of things in search of happiness, searching for it. But we don't realize we're searching for something that we already possess. We're looking for something outside, but it's already with us. Let's take an example, right? Let's take an example. Let's take your favorite food. Let's ask the crowd, right? Madam, what's your favorite food?
Lemon drizzle cake.
Lemon drizzle cake. Lemon drizzle cake, right? That is what makes us happy. Is it? Is it lemon drizzle cake that makes you happy? If the lemon drizzle cake itself has happiness, then no matter who I give it to, they should be happy, right? No matter who I give it to, they should be happy. But there'll be some people who would say that they don't like lemon drizzle cake. They'll say that they don't like cake whatsoever. And let's say, right, if lemon drizzle cake had happiness, now if I gave you one, you're happy. Give you two, happiness increased or decreased?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Happiness increased or decreased? You now see a decrease in happiness, because I remember, one year, it's October, right? I remember one year when I was, I think, 10 or 11 years old. I remember I went on Halloween trick-or-treating, and I got a massive bag of chocolates and sweets, right? And as a little kid, that was the day that I was pretty happy. And my dad used to always tell me, look, have one chocolate a day, just one. And of course, being me, I didn't listen to him. I stuffed myself, right? But what I did realize was that chocolate, the first chocolate time I had, the first bite of chocolate, that was, wow, amazing. Second, third, fourth, fifth, then I remember there was a point where I was like, no more chocolate. Can't stand the sight of chocolate. Is it because chocolate and happiness? Is it chocolate that brings you happiness? Then what is it that brings me happiness? What is it that brings me happiness? What is, because if we want to be happy, right, we have to realize how we can become happy and continue to do it, or to remove things that don't make us happy. So we first have to find out what makes me happy. Is it the chocolate or the lemon drizzle cake? Is it the chocolate? And where is my happiness? You see, happiness isn't in physical objects. Happiness isn't in physical objects. Happiness is where? Happiness is in one place, in the mind. Your happiness is entirely in the mind, which means you have the keys to your own happiness. But what we do is we give out the keys of our mind. We say, hey, you can have my key, you can have my key, you can have my key. All of you can control how I feel. All of you have the choice whether you can make me happy or sad. I'm giving out these keys. But actually the happiness that I feel solely, it only comes from one place and one place itself, inside. So these outside objects, they aren't the source of your happiness. Then the question is, what is it that makes you happy? How does music, food, how does these things make you happy? Let's take an example, right? Let's say you really want something. Let's say you really want, I don't know, let's take a new phone. You really want a new phone. Now, the moment you wanted a new phone, what happened? You feel that, okay, I want this new phone. Just wanting it, phones don't fall out of the sky, right? You have to go and do something with it. So you now go, so if you're a child, you go to your parents and go, Mom, Dad, please, 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 please. You fall onto your knees, and then your parents will, my parents used to do it. What they used to do is say, okay, we'll give you it if you do this. If you pass your exams, we'll give you a phone. And so what do? I now study hard. For what? To get this new phone. I now have to exert myself, and I'm studying. Let's say you're working, right? You now have to work entirely for what? To get enough money for this phone. Your sole intention is working for this phone. And that's not happiness, is it? It's wanting something happiness. Wanting something isn't happy. Wanting is a feeling that burns on the inside. Really wanting something is a fire on the inside. And then what? You want, and you try. And then there'll be the day where you finally get it into your two hands. You get the box and you go, thank God, I now have the phone. What is your happiness? That happiness of wanting this phone and then receiving it. You are relieved of the suffering that you wanted the phone. By the relief of the wanting, or of the suffering that you went through, that relief is what we call, you know what, I'm happy. Think about it, right? Say pizza. How often do you eat pizza? Very often? I was talking to a kid the other day, right? And they just moved house, and so everything's packed. And she loves pizza. Absolutely adores pizza. And so the first thing she does is tells her mom that everything's packed. And her mom has a rule, right? Her mom has a rule: every single night, no matter what, you must have rice. Right? It is the rule. But now everything's packed. The rice is in the boxes. The spices are everywhere. So we can't do that. So why don't we order pizza? The mom was like, yeah, okay, can't do anything. So we order pizza, right? So they order pizza and they eat pizza. First day. Second day, still in boxes, pizza. Third day, still in boxes, pizza. Fourth day, still in boxes, pizza. Fifth day, Mom, please, I'll take the rice out the boxes, make some rice. Because why? The pizza isn't what made you happy. It was the relief of the wanting for something. See, I used to be very forgetful, right? Extremely forgetful. I used to lose the house keys every now and then, right? Now, does your house keys make you happy right now? Right now, they're in your pocket, right? Did they make you happy right now? Well, no, because you know where they are. But once you've lost it, you're looking for it. And then you finally find it. That relief of that stress, that relief of the anxious feelings, relief of those, that's what we call our happy. And not only that, we have given our keys to others, right? We've given our keys to everything, which means what? Our happiness is conditioned. It's conditioned. There's conditions to our happiness. There are things that make us happy, and there's things that make us unhappy. We have given our happiness to other things. Think about it, right? There are 8 billion people in this world. Imagine, to be happy, you have to change the outside. Imagine, right? Now there's 8 billion people in this world, which means I don't like the way you walk. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you're wearing hair. And you have to change 8 billion people, which means in our lifetimes, right? With us, say we live 80 years, right? You're going to have to tell them to change one person every microsecond. So you have nothing else to do but to tell people to change. See, if your happiness is outside, there is so much you have to do. But what I'm trying to show you is your happiness is not out here. Your happiness is entirely inside here. You're inside your mind. The mind is what makes you happy. The mind has the ultimate keys to your happiness. Another example, right? Let's say I have cake, lemon drizzle cake. I have a lemon drizzle cake with me. You just seeing it, if you like lemon drizzle cake, of course, you just seeing it makes you happy. Then me being nice, like cut you a slice and give you the plate. You getting the plate makes you happy. And I give you the spoon, and now you take the first bite. And you find out it's made of wax. You see, the outside doesn't matter. The outside doesn't matter whatsoever. As long as you feel that, you know what, this is lemon drizzle cake. That is what makes you happy. That is what makes you happy. The feeling of lemon drizzle cake. Think about it. As technology increases and becomes better, we'll see more of this. Why? You will be able to see things that are not there, feel things that are not there. You'll be able to hear things that are not there. And yet you'll still be able to feel this pleasure. So the outside world has nothing to do with your happiness. The outside world, as long as you can perceive things, right? As long as you can perceive the things you like, the outside world can literally just shatter in front of you, right? So imagine you can perceive everything, but there is no outside world, right? Everything's destroyed. So you're now seeing. So I don't know. Have you seen those dystopian movies where like robots or aliens are taking control of your mind? So a good example is something like Matrix. That could happen. You'll be able to. In your mind, you can see, you can feel, you can hear, you can taste, you can touch. But the world isn't there, because the world isn't something that makes you happy. Instead, your mind is what makes you happy. So now we have shown ourselves, right, that okay, outside doesn't make me happy. The mind does. So what is the process of the mind that makes me happy? The process is what? Well, before we talk about what makes me happy, let's talk about what makes me unhappy. What makes me unhappy? I want lemon drizzle cake, but I don't have some. I'm sad. I want a new phone. Don't have a new phone. I'm sad. I want to go on a holiday. Can't go on a holiday. I'm sad. I want to sleep. Can't sleep. I'm sad. You see, what we try to solve all the time is, you know what? I want to eat. Don't have anything to eat. I'm sad. What we try to solve is this second part of the problem, which is I want something to eat. So say cake, right? I want cake. I don't have cake. Therefore, I'm sad. So what we try to solve here is we always try to solve, you know what? I don't have cake. So what do? We go and we go buy some cake. Now we're happy. We now say, I want to use this phone. I don't have this phone. I'm sad. What we try to do every single time, we're trying to solve this second part of the problem. You see, that second part of the problem isn't the problem. That is the second part. We never look at the first part and think, you know what, that is the problem there. That is the problem. No, I want. We never think that, you know what, I want is the problem. We think that, no, I want is, there's nothing wrong with I want. What is wrong is that I don't have. It is the wanting that creates this environment for suffering. It's the wanting that creates this environment for you to think about it. If you really want something, and let's say, no matter how hard you try, you can't get it. So let's say you want the moon, right? No matter how hard you try, you can't get the moon. Now, how can you be happy? How can you be happy? Because for as long as you have, you know what, I want this, I want that, that is the cause of your suffering. Which means what? Four Noble Truths, right? The first Noble Truth is what? Attachment is the cause of suffering. You know, everything that we say is that makes us happy. We put the sticker on it. We put the sticker on it. We put the sticker of, you know what? If it makes me happy, it's mine. If it makes me happy, it's mine. So for example, right? Your home makes you happy, right? Mine. You put a sticker. You put a sticker of mine. So think about it. Your friends, do they make you happy or unhappy? Is it not because they make you happy that you put the sticker of, you know, this is my friends. These are my friends. It's because of this, we feel that, you know what, this makes me happy. And then you put the sticker of, this is mine. This is my friends. This is my clothes. These are mine. But my question is, what this feeling of, you know what, this is mine, is that actually making us happy? Or indeed making us sad, angry? Because what we don't realize is every time you put the sticker on, you are agreeing to do three things. You're agreeing to do three things. The moment you put the sticker on mine, you think, you know what, I am from now, for this item, or for this person, or for whatever, I am now a security guard. I am now, because it's mine, now I'm going to be the cleaner. And because I put the sticker of mine, I will now become the crier. Meaning these three jobs, whether you like it or not, the moment you put the sticker on, you get these three jobs automatically. Think about it. Everything that you think is mine, right? That you have this feeling of this belongs to me. Don't you not have this feeling, you know, what if something happens? Think about it. My car. Again, this is not me saying that, okay, don't use anything. Use it without this feeling, this sticker. Remove the sticker from things. Because say you have this feeling of, this is my car. You put the sticker on. Now what happens is, now you are now constantly a security guard. You have to make sure it's safe. So you constantly have these questions. What if? What if something happens? The car alarm goes off. Is that my car? And you now are constantly security guard to this. You now have to go out, you have to do, and you have to check if it's okay. You have to make sure. This question of what if is a burning question that constantly happens inside of our mind. What if this? What if that? If this was my phone, now you constantly have the question, what if it breaks? What if it gets lost? I remember back when I had a phone and was going in the tube, the trains. Excuse me. I remember my hand would automatically check my pockets. It would be almost involuntary to check, is it still there? Because number one, forgetful. Number two, because who knows, it could have been stolen. I will check it and say, okay, still there, still there. I get on the bus. After I get off the bus, still there, still there. It's okay, it's okay. We're still alive, still alive, still have the fun. We're constantly a security guard. We're now looking for something. We're not checking this still there. Is it broken? Is it okay? Number two, you're now a cleaner, which means not just cleaning, you have to do things for it. You have to physically exert yourself to do something. So let's say something of yours is dirty. Now, this is not as a responsibility. Responsibility-wise, do everything to the maximum when it comes to responsibility. I'm saying not responsibilities, but this feeling that, you know what, this has to be like this. I have to clean. I'd make sure this all. I remember I used to have a friend who was in love with shoes. When he bought new shoes, this was his entire life. He was very happy with it. And every single time he would come home, he would take up his shoes and he would clean it. Now, it's not me saying that cleaning is wrong, but he has to now physically do things for it because he put the sticker on mine. It's my stick. It's my car, my shoes. And number three, you now have the job of crying. Whether you like it or not, you have the job of crying. Try not crying. Try not crying when your car breaks. Try not crying when your phone breaks, when your laptop breaks, when something of yours breaks. Try not crying. Try not worrying. Try not becoming sad. Try. Something that you feel that's really mine, and you've made that firm attachment to it. Try not being sad. If you can do it, right? Try. See, the moment you put the sticker on, you now become the crier. You have the job of becoming sad. You've now signed and agreed that if this breaks, I'll become sad. Because of what? The sticker. You know, it's funny because stickers can be removed. Stickers can be placed anywhere. So is this sense or this feeling that this belongs to me. You see, these three jobs will keep you up at night. These three jobs will not let you sleep. Like, have you not had those days where, like I remember, like when I used to leave the house, sometimes I'll go halfway on the journey and then come straight back home to check if my front door is closed. Never had that before. Just to double check, did I close it? Now, responsibility-wise, of course, do it. But I'm talking about this internal fire that we have. This internal that, you know what, is it closed? Is it not closed? Did I lock it? Did I not lock it? There's a fire inside. That fire is suffering. All because of what? This sticker that you put. I want. Because it's mine. The sticker of mine and this feeling of I want. These are the two things. When they mix together, you are now suffering. Now, everything that makes you sad, everything that makes you angry, every single thing, every single negative emotion is because of this. Of the feeling of mine, the feeling of I want. You see, this feeling of mine, is it real? Is it real? This feeling of mine. What difference does this feeling do? So for example, I have a pen, it's my pen. It only writes when I want it, right? Is it? I give this pen to someone else. It shouldn't write because it belongs to me. No, the pen will write no matter what. What about, let's say, a laptop? The laptop's my laptop. No one else should be able to use it. That's why you put passwords and you put all this, right? Well, this is not me saying not to have passwords. I'm trying to get rid of this feeling of, this is mine. Because once you feel this feeling of mine, you get the three jobs. Once you get the three jobs, well, that itself is suffering. So the passwords, and so it's all mine. And so, but then if someone found out the password, so when we find out the password of our parents' phones, right? It works no matter who uses it. Because what? It's the sense of belonging does nothing to the object. It is something that we feel. The sense of belonging is something that we feel. For example, right? How many roads are there? Only one road. But we say, you know what, this is my road. My road is named this. And you name it and you say, okay, this is separate, this is mine. This is theirs. This is that. This is this. You separate it all out and say, you know what, this is mine and this is theirs. This is hers, this is his. You now separate it all out and say, no, this is how it is. But honestly, there's only just one road. There's only one road, right? They're all interconnected, right? But then we separate and we say, no, this is my road. I don't know, say this is my road, Queens Avenue, my road. Kings Avenue, your road. And we separate it out. But yet, it's all just one road. Think about it, right? This is Australia is not my country, but say it is my country, right? How big is Australia? Very big, right? Now let's say someone got very thirsty and drinks the entire ocean. Now how big is Australia? Does the world decide, you know what, Australia is this big? Does the world decide, you know what, the UK is just this big? Does the world decide, you know what, Sydney is just this big? Or is it is it a mind that decides, you know what, this is mine, this is ours, this is because of mind we have ours. If we don't have a mind, we don't have ours. We separate it out and say, you know what, this is mine, this is yours. This is my land, this is yours. See, how do you prove that that land is yours? Because if it was separate, right? If it was separate, the world should be able to say, you know what, this belongs to her, this belongs to him. No, we have a certificate, a deed, saying, you know what, this land belongs to this. So this piece of paper shows that that's the only evidence that you can show to say, you know what, this is it, this is separate. So this feeling of belonging is also an illusion, and something that we feel, that our mind shows for what? To show that, you know what, this is mine, and what is mine makes me happy. What is mine makes me happy. The thing is, you cannot separate. The thing is, you cannot separate those two and say, you know what, this is mine, this is hers, this is them, this is this. You cannot. Can't someone wear this? Or is it just me who can wear this? But I put this feeling, you know, this is mine. Don't touch it, it's mine. Don't wear it, it's mine. This feeling of mine is what creates all of our suffering. The feeling that, because the feeling of mine comes from where? That this is I want, I get, this is mine. So your suffering is from where? Because we have to all agree, right? The absence of suffering is happiness. Right? The absence of suffering is happiness. So if we find a way to get rid of suffering, then technically speaking, we should be able to become happy, right? Because there are two opposites, the two sides of the coin. You can either become happy or sad, or positive emotion, negative emotion, right? If you get rid of negative, then you can only have these positive emotions, right? Technically. So if we can find a way to get rid of suffering, we should be able to become happy. But this happiness is different. Why? Because this happiness isn't on things, except it is conditionless, unconditional. This happiness is unconditional. Because why? What is it that conditions it? Well, when what changes does your happiness change? Nothing. You see, This feeling of this is mine, this feeling that I want this and it's mine, that feeling itself is what causes our suffering. And the best part is, it doesn't need to belong to you. Because why? It's just the feeling, right? You can put the feeling on anything. For example, right? You can feel that this belongs to you for a single moment. And so if it's broke, you can also be sad. You can also be sad voluntarily. All you have to do is put the sticker on. This is mine. See, this sticker has the power to make you sad. This sticker has this power to make you scared. This sticker has the power to do absolutely, to create havoc. This one sticker, the sticker of mine, me. You see, what we have to do is we have to take these stickers off. Take these stickers off, the sticker of mine, which again, I'm not saying to do it anything physically. Use the things you have, but remove the sticker. So use your cards, but remove the sticker of it's mine. Which means it will still work the same way, but there's only one difference. One difference. You can no longer suffer because of it. That can no longer bring suffering to you. Because why? These 3 jobs no longer work. You will still take care of it because why? You still use it. You still clean it because it needs to be cleaned. But you don't have this idea, you know what? It has to be spotless. It has to be like, it can't be, you can't have any dirt on it. And so if there is some dirt, you don't feel like, oh my God, there's some dirt. I must wipe it off. You don't feel that because why? You don't have this desire that this has to be like this. You see, this sticker, you have to remove it. Remove it of everything. Absolutely everything. Remove the sticker. You will still be able to live your normal lives without one thing, without suffering. The one thing that we don't want, suffering, right? All we do is have to go and take the sticker off. The sticker of this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Things will still belong to me, meaning physically belong to me, but mentally, they're not. Physically, I'll be able to use everything, but mentally, I'm not attached. And when there's absence of attachment, there cannot be suffering. Mental suffering. Because we can't talk about physical suffering, because physical suffering will happen as long as you have a body. Unfortunately, that's the case, right? You can't stop physical pain because as long as you have a body, you'll feel pain. You'll feel physical pain and physical pleasure. But mental pain and mental pleasure, it is something that, honestly, that is not, that it shouldn't be there. But it is there. Because we thought that, you know what, mine, the sticker of mine, this is what makes me happy. More stickers. Because what we used to think is, you know what, the more things that are mine, the more happy I'll be. The more mine I have, or the more things that I bring towards me, the more I have, the more happy I'll be. But I'm showing you, the more you have, it's not the more happy you'll be. The more you have, the more mind you put on. The more mind you have, the more times you do these 3 jobs. You see, our mind has fooled us. Has told us that, you know what, attaching and making things mine is what makes you happy. So do more of it. But in reality, it's the complete opposite. Mine is what causes suffering. When something is mine, that's what makes it suffering. But again, I want to show you the difference between physically and mentally. Because a lot of people, they miss this point. Because that's 2 different things, physically and mentally. Physically mine, okay, this is physically mine. But that doesn't cause me suffering. Physical mind doesn't cause suffering. What causes suffering is this mental mind. Which means you can use everything. You can live your entire life as normal as it was. Except now you don't mentally suffer because of this. You're not mentally suffering because you're not mentally a security guard. You're not mentally a cleaner, and definitely you will never be the crier. But of course, as long as you have something, you have to take care of it. As long as you have something, you have to look after it. As long as you have something, you have to keep an eye on it. But never will you have the third job, the crier. You will be absent of crier. You see, take these stickers off. Take these stickers off of everything. You see, we place these stickers on absolutely everything. Think about it, right? From the button on your shirts, you've placed a sticker of mine. That's why when it breaks, aren't you worried? Aren't you sad? Don't you feel all this? Because you've placed a sticker on. See, with the absence of the sticker, right? Now what? Now this button breaks, right? You're wearing something on the button and it breaks. Because it's not mine, you won't feel this instant feeling that, oh my God, it's broken. Instead, you think, okay, I'll try another one. And when you come back home, I'll sew this on, or if I can't sew it, then I'll throw it away. Without thinking twice and thinking, oh my God, but it's my favorite shirt. Like it's my favorite color and all of this. Without that, you haven't placed a sticker, and therefore you no longer can suffer. You see, our minds have been tricking us our entire life. That bringing things closer to me is what makes me happy. Except that is not what makes you happy. That is the cause of your unhappiness. You think about it, right? You see, our minds have the nature of separating things out. Of separating and saying, okay, this is yours, this is mine. These are ours. Think about it, right? In a school, you have 300 people. That school becomes mine. You put a big sticker on the school and say, this is my school. Now, if someone said something about your school, what do? You're like, no, don't say anything about my school, right? If you say something, you're going to have to go through me as well. And not only that, you place another mine on what? Your class. Say something to my class, you're saying something to me. No, I won't tolerate. You now place something on what? Your best friends. Or your friends. And the best friends. So you like to separate things out and say, these are mine, these are theirs. But the thing is, you cannot do that. Meaning, physically, you cannot separate things out and say, you know what, these two are different. They're one and the same. You have this feeling that, you know what, it's separate. We group things because our mind has this natural tendency to group and say, this is us, this is me, this is who I am. But that itself is a delusion. This feeling that, you know what, that this is separate. For example, right? Let's say I get a transplant, right? Someone donates a lung, right? Let's say one of my lungs fell and someone donates a lung. Would that lung not work? Or will it work nonetheless? It will work. And you don't need this, but although you will feel that, you know what, this isn't me. This isn't part of me, but it is. But it isn't. Because it will still work nonetheless. And you won't be say Bob was the one who donated the lung. You won't say, oh, I'm coming with Bob. No, because this is part of you. There's this entire body is a process. This entire body is a process. Think about it. When you eat something, do you think about digestion? Do you physically think, okay, the food's now going down my esophagus. Now it's going to my stomach. Okay, stomach, turn on the acids, right? Start churning. Do you physically think about it, or does it happen automatically? It's a process. What about you? Do you think about breathing? Meaning, do you think, okay, every single moment you think, okay, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathing, or does it happen automatically? That is also a process. What else? Your heart beating. Just think, right? Imagine one moment where you have full control of the body, 100% control of the body, you won't live for a second. Because think about how much you think about the heart, your lungs, your liver, your brain, your spleen, your pancreas. You ever think about all of this and you're trying to get this all done? But of course, we won't, because some things we don't know. And so you won't last very long. This is just a process that's happening. Think about it. Seeing is a process. Try to not see without closing your eyes. Try to not see. For as long as there's an object, for as long as you have an eye, and for as long as you have a mind, you'll be able to see. It's a process. Seeing is a process. Hearing, for example, right? Try not to see. Try not to see. You look at this, but try not to see. Can you? No, because seeing is a process. What you want, what you want, or what you don't want, it doesn't matter. It's a process. What you hear. Try not to hear the next few words that come out of my mouth, right? On the 30th of February, I was waiting to catch a flight. I was waiting at a bus stop to catch a flight. But there was not enough space in that flight, so I had to grab on a wing and fly away. Can you not hear that? No, because hearing is a process. Smelling is a process. Tasting is a process. Feeling or touch is a process. Thinking is also a process. This body is entirely a process. This process and these processes are doing the same thing. Meaning, you all can see, right? You all can hear, right? You all can smell, right? Taste, touch. Well, that means all your processes and my processes. Well, how? They're all processes. Each and every one of these is a process. Everything that's happening is a process. Same thing with everything around you. These are all processes. Now, when we don't realize these are processes, now when something happens, you think, okay, it's broken. But honestly, that was in the process of breaking. Think about it. Look at the idea of recycling. I have a plastic cup. I melt it, make a spoon. I have now a spoon. I melt it, and now I have a ruler. I melt that, and I make a chair. So the cup was in the process of becoming a chair. But at one moment, it was a cup. The next moment, it was a spoon. The next moment, it was a ruler. The next moment, it was a chair. Everything here is in the process of change. Would you say that this will one day become this? Can you say it won't? That this will one day become a cloth? It will. It will. Meaning, let's say, right? Let's take a theory, right? This will one day erode, right? And let's say it goes into the ground, right? And let's say from its nutrients, grass appears, right? Sheep eats grass. Sheep grows wool. I don't know, maybe wool, I don't know. Say it's wool, right? The wool is now woven, dyed, now it's a cloth. So this is in the process of becoming a cloth. This is in a process of change. When our mind likes to put these stickers and say, you know what, this is going to be like this is mine, so it's going to be like this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It's not going to change. But it is. Everything is in this process of change. I remember one day learning that the water that you're drinking is the same water that the T-Rex had drunk. Had that? Because water is recycled. right? So T-Rex drinks water, water is excreted, and then goes back to the ocean, and goes back in the skies, and it's recycled. So the water, according to what people say, is water. We don't really think the water isn't destroyed; it's recycled. So you're drinking the same water that the dinosaurs have drunk. You should feel lucky. You are drinking the same water that Louis III, the King of France, had also drunk. Do you feel well? You see, it's always in a continuous cycle of what? Change. But yet, when we place the sticker of, this is mine, this is mine, you automatically feel that, this is going to be like that forever. That's why we don't like when things break. Because when you place a sticker of mine, now when things break, you think, my thing has broken. You see, everything is in the process of change. So it's beautiful, right? Think about it. The only constant is what? Change. The only constant is change. Everything around you is changing. Everything is in a process of becoming something different. But yet we place these stickers and think this is going to be like this forever. We think that everything's going to be like this forever. That's why we don't like growing old. Because why? We feel that, we place a sticker, this is me, this is mine. And so when the moment you see something that you don't like, for example, you see some gray hair, now you think, no, that can't be. I must do something about it. I can't be growing old. Because the sticker automatically, you think that, I'm going to be like this forever. The danger of a sticker. You see, this is what the mind goes through. The mind continuously puts stickers on things. That's why we don't like them. That's why when we place a sticker, do we feel all these emotions because of one sticker? All I'm trying to say is remove that. Remove that sticker. Because it's that sticker that causes all the suffering. Think about it, right? This isn't a constant change. This is constantly changing. This body is also constantly changing. One day, my hand will become, let's take an example, will become the food you eat. No, will it not? One day it will. And so if all these are in constant, or if these are all a process of change, how can we say that, I place this mind and it should be like this? Then won't it be really foolish to place these stickers now? Won't it be very, why would you place these stickers knowing that this would change? For example, when was the last time you looked at the sun and thought, don't set? Don't set. Please, don't set. Do anything but don't set. When did you last do that? Why not? Because it will set. Don't you make sandcastles knowing that the waves will destroy it? So placing this expectation, this is my sandcastle, waves don't touch my sandcastle. Isn't that very foolish? You are asking for suffering. You are asking for problems. That's why we don't look at the sun and we say, please don't set, or please don't rise. But yet, once when you see the sunset, don't you automatically think, please, sun, don't set. I want this to be like that forever. That you want this sunset to be, that's what we pictures, right? We take a picture and we think, okay, I want the sun to be like this forever. See, that's the purpose of pictures. You take pictures and you think, okay, this is what I want. I want this to be my memory forever. You see, we are constantly asking to be suffering, or constantly asking for suffering. Because we place stickers on everything, looking for happiness. In the search of happiness, we're putting stickers. But never have we found it. Because as the more stickers, because it's like this, right? Imagine there's another room, and in that room there's a massive fire burning everything, but it's another room. You feel the heat, right? You can feel the heat, and so what you do is you turn on the fan. There's a massive fire in the other room, but you just turn on the fan and you think, oh, that'll solve it. Because we don't see the fire, we just feel the heat. But knowing that there's heat, what we're trying to do is so we now know this, it's hot, right? Okay, you can turn on the fan, that's okay. But look for why. Why am I hot? Why am I heating up? Only then will you open the door and see the real problem. Until you see the real problem, you'll just turn on the fan, turn on the AC, try whatever you can to cool down. You don't see that, this is all happening because of the fire next door. Once you see the fire, what do you do now? Now do you turn on the AC? Now do you turn on the fan? No. You do whatever you can to what? Extinguish the fire. Because you have now seen the correct problem. You've seen the right problem. You see, Albert Einstein was once asked, if we give you an hour to solve a question, what would you do? And he said, I'll spend around 55 minutes trying to understand the question and 5 minutes to answer. Because we don't look at the question, we just look for the answer. That's why whenever we feel sad, we think, okay, my sadness is because of this. My sadness is because of her, of him, of them, of this thing, that other thing. Because of my exams, because of this and that. Except your happiness or your sadness is not. Then where is it from? It's not because of something. Because inside. It's because of the sticker. Now this sticker has 101. This concept of this sticker, you can go deeper and deeper, because this is what our mind fundamentally does. Because remember, I said that everything's a process, right? Your thinking is also a process. So you applying stickers is also process. But this process is what? This process is what makes us unhappy. You see, the best part of things being a process is what? Because it's a process, you can find ways to stop the causes, and then the process will cease to exist. Because, for example, right, if you put fuel, oxygen, and temperature together, fire will manifest. Get rid of the causes, and now the fire won't. Because why? Fire is also a process. So, same thing. Processes can start and processes can be stopped. So what do? The process of applying stickers, you understand that this is wrong. This is what causes suffering. And then you go back, look at the causes. Why do I apply stickers? Because I thought stickers, or applying stickers. Applying stickers is what makes me sad. Applying the sticker of mine, that makes me happy, sorry. Applying these stickers are what makes me happy. But it isn't. Applying these stickers are the root cause of your suffering. Remove these stickers from your life. Remove them. By how? Understanding. Because our minds, right, they're not stupid. Minds aren't stupid. Minds just are crazy. Our minds are crazy, not stupid. But this craziness, it's a good craziness, meaning we can show the mind that it is crazy and stop that. Because your mind is willing to accept whatever you can show and prove to yourself. Your mind is willing to accept it. Which is the best thing ever. Because if it wasn't, then we can't do anything about this. This is life. right? You can have to live life sad. You can live life stressed. You can have to live life anxious. You can have to live life the way you want. But it isn't. It's a process. And so all you have to do is get rid of this craziness by showing it the reality, showing it what is real, showing it that these stickers are the cause of suffering. By showing it, the mind realizes, you know what? I don't want to be sad. If I don't want to be sad, then what do I not want to do? Apply these stickers. Therefore, you think, no, the mind thinks, no more stickers. No more stickers means what? No more stickers means everything is exactly the way it is, except one thing. You are no longer suffering. You are no longer sad. Just do this, right? Like whenever something when you face a problem, the thing what I found makes it really easy is solving my problems are next to impossible. But solving someone else's problems are easy. Think about it, right? Now, let's say your friend has a problem, right? Sometimes when they say this is I'm doing this and doing this, sometimes solving their problems is really easy. You think, okay, no, all you do is this and this, and then it's over. But when that problem is my problem, when you put the sticker of mine, now you can't think. You've now closed all the doors, and you think, no, this is a big problem. This. So, a way to solve some problems is to take it out and place it somewhere else. Because once it is mine, it's almost like you are face to face with a tree. You're lost in the forest and you're face to face with a tree. You can't see how big the tree is. When you're face to face, when your nose is touching the bark, you can't see how big the tree is. It looks absolutely massive. What you have to do is take a step back. Now you can see the two sides. Now you see, oh my God, it's just a small tree. What I have to do is take a step around. And now, because you take the step back, now you can see your way through the forest. And then you can go to safety. But until then, when your nose is face to face with this tree, you can't see any of this. So if you have a problem that you can't solve because it may seem way too big, try taking the problem and unpersonalize it, meaning make it not mine. It's a problem. It's another problem. Now solve it. Most of the times, it'll become easier. Most of the time, it'll become so much easier. Because this feeling of mine makes things harder. See, because of this, right? When you place a sticker of mine, what you do is you connect. You start connecting dots. You think, okay, I've had this problem for X amount of time. I have this problem now. That means I will have this problem in the future. You now connect the dots and say, okay, this is what happened. This is what's going to happen. Therefore, now you put that all into one thought and you think, this is too much. This is too much. This is way too much. I can't think. But really, the problem is just one mind. Getting rid of the sticker of mind, you realize the actual problem. You don't see other things. I mean, you see a different way to approach the problem. But when it says my problem, it's too much. So what if you have problems that you want to solve, that because the other day a woman came up to me and said, you know what, I've been for the last couple of years I've been under a lot of sadness and I've been depressed and all this. I've been through 1 year and this is the first year that I'm recovered. How do I not go into how do I solve my problems now? Now I can see clearly, right? I'm now recovered. How do I not go back into the state I was before? And that's what I told her. I told her, make that problem, make it someone else's. Put it outside of you. Now look at it. Because usually when it's your problem, you think about it way too much when it's actually a very simple way to solve it. Just like you solving your friend's problems, right? It's easy. But once it becomes my problem, this sticker does so much. This sticker is the thing that ruins everything. It's one small sticker that you place everywhere. One small sticker. Remove these stickers. Remove these stickers. Show yourself that these stickers are what causes my suffering. And your mind will accept it. Your mind will no longer place stickers on things. And no more stickers, no more suffering. I think, I remember it was such a relief to realize that, you know what? I don't need to do anything. I don't need to stop doing anything that I like doing. All I have to do is realize it. And when the sticker is off, I can still do it without one thing, without suffering, without becoming sad, without feeling anxious, without feeling all these negative emotions. You can still, you feel happy, and that's it. The sense or the absence of suffering, that is something that you'll feel constantly. That you'll be able to no longer. So this world can crumble at your feet, but yet you won't feel sad. You won't feel anything. Because why? There's no stickers. Get rid of these stickers. These stickers are the cause of your suffering. Are the cause. Remember, right? You see, these stickers, if you think about it, right? The sense of separation, right? Well, when we separate things out, we say these are separate. This is what our mind really likes. Think about it, right? We like, so imagine there was a white wall. You draw one line between it. We enjoy seeing that one line from that white wall. Because once you have that one line, now we feel, you know what? Now there's a left, there's a right. Well, at first it was just one white plain wall. But once you put this line, and you can say, okay, now I can place my sticker somewhere. Or else you can just place a sticker on the white wall, but that's one thing. But once you can separate, you can say, okay, now I can place my sticker. Okay, which side? Do I like my left side or do I like the right side? You place the right side, you place it on one side. The other side now brings you unhappiness. It's because you like something that does something become that you don't like something else. For example, if you like praise, now when someone shouts at you, you don't like it. It's not the other way around. It's you first like something, and now because of the thing that you like, do you not like something else? A good example would be, let's say, your favorite color. Because you like this favorite color, you put a sticker of mine on this favorite color. Now, do you not like the other colors? Which doesn't mean you hate these other colors. You don't like them. You like this color, and these colors are okay. And these colors, and these colors, no, these colors. Because once you have what you like, you surround it and say, this is what I like. This is what I kind of like. These are neutral. These, no, these I don't like. Because of this sticker. You place a sticker and you start separating. You separate all this out. And it's that separation that causes the sticker that the only when you can separate can you put the sticker on. But remember, these are all just processes. Everything is a process, which means they can't be separated. Okay, for example, right? There's two robots, right? Two robots do the exact same thing. They walk forwards. And we'll name one of them thing one and thing two, right? We name one of them thing one, the other one thing two. We swap them all over. Now, how would you say that this is thing one, this is thing two? If they do the exact same thing, if they are all a process. So if this is exactly the same as this, but in a different way, right? Meaning in a different period of time, or that if this is also in a state of change, and this is also a state of change, me being able to separate and say, this is what I like and I don't like this one, that is wrong, because these two are the same. You see, this sense of separation is, it is our innate desire to be able to separate things out and then put the stickers on. We enjoy this separation, separate this, separate that, separate all this. The things that we like are because of the separation. You place a sticker, because once you separate it and think, okay, this is this, then you can put a sticker. And you like placing stickers on things. You enjoy placing stickers. So again, peel off all your stickers. Throughout your entire life, take off all the stickers. Show yourself that these stickers is not what makes you happy. It's the cause of your unhappiness. Take them all off. Take them all off, roll them up, put them in the bin. These stickers are what causes unhappiness. Now, what I want you to do is, throughout your entire life, from now until whenever, right? Whenever you chance, look at this. Look at these stickers. Apply this, because hopefully this is more of a science than of something that you just need to believe. I hope I have proven the point that these stickers are what causes suffering. Now, because you don't need to believe anything. Now what you do is you put this into your life. Show and see if what I have said actually happens. Because we have a very, 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 very short life. 80 years, or hopefully 80 years, is still pretty short. We would like to live infinitely, but we can't. Well, some people, here's the thing, right? Anyway, we have a very short life, 80 years. And out of the 80 years, take away how many years you've lived, divide that by 4, because we sleep at least 6 hours a day, right? That's how much time you have, and take that away from the total. That's how many days you have left, or that's how many years you have left. Your life is too short to be unhappy. Instead, look for ways that you can be happy and happy and happy. Infinitely happy with nothing stopping you. Find ways to become unconditionally happy. That this outside world doesn't condition your happiness. This happiness is something that will last unconditionally. Look for it. Because the Buddha came to this world to make, he went through his perfections and went through all this, like all of his entire journey in samsara until his last moment. He was looking for what? The truth. He's looking for what? Happiness. That's why he had done all of this, looking for happiness. So look for the teachings of the Buddha. The teachings of the Buddha to be happy. Because he had found, not only did he find the way, he spread it to as many people as possible throughout his entire lifetime. And not only that, his students also spread it. And his students also spread it. And their students also spread it. Spread. And eventually it spreads. And we are so fortunate. Well, I know I am so fortunate to find my teachers. I have no idea what sort of merits I have done in my life to have met my teachers. It's because of them am I who I am now. Because something that they always used to say, the 5 people that you closely associate are what makes you. And I'm happy to say my teachers are what makes who I am. And it's because of my teachers that I am here and I can help other people to be happy. Because that's all everyone wants. You wish for everyone to be happy. I wish for everyone to be happy. See, that is the best part about being human. We all want to be happy. So again, you guys are very lucky to be able to be in a place where you're looking and searching for happiness. As in, if I honestly wish that, you know what, when I was this high, if I had found the Dhamma, I would have been so happy. And not only that, I wish every single person around us to look and find and understand this truth, the teachings of the Buddha, because we have done so much. If we believe in rebirth, we've been through the samsara continuously, from whenever it started, wherever it started, however it started, to this moment, we've been through samsara, doing absolutely everything. We have done absolutely everything except one thing: understand the truth. Except understanding the truth, which you guys are so lucky to be in places where you are searching for it. You are so lucky that you understand that is what I need. You understand that, you know what, that I have to find a way to be happy, that other things around me, music, TV, and all this, they make me happy. But that is not true happiness. And that's what makes you very lucky. And that's what makes every one of you very special. It has been a great honor to be able to talk to all of you, whether in person or online, or whether you're watching after a while. It's a great honor to speak to people who are searching for the truth, searching for happiness. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you so much, Venerable. I think our minds are blown with this mind lab. And I love the analogies. Very pertinent, very practical as well. So thank you so much for your sharing. So for those who are online, as well as those who are here, if you have any questions, you're welcome to just ask. Or if you want to keep it anonymous, we do have some pieces of paper that you can write on as well. Therefore, we do have one question. Okay, so the question is this. Thanks for sharing, Bhante. You drove home the point on physical things, the body, and how they are subject to change and cannot be really me, mine, or myself. Can you elaborate more on the internal world, on how our own feelings, mind, and thoughts, I take it the process of putting stickers on them also causes us suffering as well?
It's a good question, good question. So if you think about it, right, your feelings are also part of a process. Because what you feel, because think about it, right? Let's say this, right? Let's say the feeling of love. That feeling is a part of a process, because you don't feel this with everyone, do you? You feel it with some people. The moment you see it, so it's almost like a code. Right? Think about it. If see so-and-so, feel so-and-so. It's almost like a code being played out. So when you see it, then automatically you feel this feeling. It's almost as if it's a code. And also, what we do is we put the sticker on this mind as well, that this is my mind. Which means, because it's my mind, it happens the way I want it. Think about it. Don't you sometimes have these thoughts that you think, you know what, I shouldn't be thinking this? Like, for example, we don't want to be angry. But yeah, we get angry. We want to get rid of anger. We want to get rid of anger, but we can't, because the mind is in a process. The process of anger. We're running through the process of anger. When you put a sticker, you think, you know what? I am in control. I control my mind. I shouldn't be feeling angry. What's happening here? But anger is it's a process of the mind. And it's something that makes us suffer, makes us sad. Look at why. Why am I angry? And thank God it's a process. Because it's a process, you can now look at the causes. What started the process? Remove the causes. Now you can no longer be angry. So the internal world, this is also a process. This is also subject to change. For example, you don't feel, say, a toy car. Do you feel the same way as you did when you were younger? No, because that's also subject to change. As time goes on, as you experience other things, the feeling you have towards the internal world also is subject to change. What you feel internally, again, changes. For example, one moment you think one idea is amazing. The next moment you think, no. Which brings us to the question, well, wait, first, for example, who made light bulb? Edison, right? Did he? Or was he just a part of this process of making the light bulb? Because think about it, right? He had the idea of making light. He experimented, got a result, failed. Used his failure, tried again, failed. Used his failure, tried again, failed. Tried again, failed. 999 times until once, tried again, success. Was that not also a process? Pretty much. The creation of a light bulb is also a process. So inside your ideas are also part of the process. So, sometimes you have amazing ideas. That's also part of the process. The amazing idea doesn't come out of the blue. It comes from a process. When these causes come together, does the thought appear? Cause and effect. When causes come together, the thought manifests. So this sticker, but yeah, we place a sticker on this and we say, you know what, this is my mind. I'm the one I'm thinking, it's my idea, my creation. So if you think about this in if we detach ourselves from this world for a bit, right? Thomas Edison couldn't say that he made light bulb. He was part of the process. But he himself made the light bulb. Can we say that? Now, if you put yourself back in, of course, Thomas Edison made the light bulb. But if you take a moment to step out, you think, no, it's a process. The process of making a light bulb. The idea, because your ideas come from where? Where does your ideas come from? Your ideas come from, it's a result of causes. If causes come together, you get a thought. So how can you own that thought and say, this is my thought? That's my idea. If it's a manifestation of causes, how can you put that sticker on? So internally or externally, everything outside is a process. So we put these stickers and we say, this is my thoughts. For example, some things like, say, you used to be a very bad person. You put that and you put a sticker and say, I am a bad person. And you think, I'm not going to change. Unfortunately, you're putting a sticker on something that's subject to change, which means whether you like it or not, your mind will change. Whether you like it or not, you can become a good person. Well, again, there's no such thing as a good or bad people. Because I've met a lot of people, a lot of children especially, who have this idea, you know what, I'm a bad person. I'm bad. But what I show them is, you know what, there's no such thing as a bad person. People are not bad. Their actions, they could be bad. Their speech, they could be bad. What they think, that could be bad. But no person is bad. Because we can't label someone and say, you know what, this person is bad. Because stickers, right? You label them and you say, you know what, he's bad. But when they do something good, do you take off that label and put good? We can't label people. But yet on this world, we place stickers and we say, okay, this is how everything is. This is all mine. And we start to fix everything. We say this is fixed and we put a sticker. We fix everything by putting stickers in. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think it does too. Thank you so much. Any other questions from the audience here? I'm still pretty slow.
It's either they understand or their minds are completely thinking, what's happening? Because I remember the first time when my teacher told me this, I was thinking, I think I had to think for a week straight, or I'm with my teachers 24 hours, right? So I can ask them questions. Because this is it's a journey that I've come on, right? And again, thanks to my teachers. Honestly, I can't take any credit for anything I've done. Because why? This is the manifestation of my teachers. So if you were to give me credit, you can't give me credit. You give credit to my teachers. And they can't get credit because they have their teachers. Finally, the only person you can give credit to is who? The first person to understand this. Was that? The Buddha. All my credit, right? Everything, all I can do is push it towards the Buddha. So again, thanks to my teachers. Like I was with them and I can continuously. Trust me, if I don't understand something, trust me, I won't let them go to sleep. I'll go and ask them, I don't understand this, can you please explain that? No, then thank God they're patient. And so they answer, and slowly did I understand this, but still my understanding is there's some holes in it. That's why I'm still on the journey. I am still on the journey. And again, it's thanks to my teachers that I'm here. So yeah. So of course, if you have any questions, please ask. Like, I enjoy questions.
Are you okay because it's already 9? Maybe one last question.
One last question.
Okay. There is a question online.
Okay.
And also a comment as well. Someone said, thank you, Venerable, for sharing your own experience too. That's appreciated. The question, Venerable, we were just talking about your teachers. So who are your teachers? How you found your teachers and what inspired you to ordain?
Good question.
Have you inspired some other people to ordain and take that path too?
So the way that this whole my life changed was my parents started listening to some teachers, some preachings from a certain monk, and their lives changed, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Because why? They used to watch movies, now no. They used to go parties and do all this, but now no. And I absolutely hated it. But what I did was I went and looked up what changed, why this change? What happened? And then I realized that okay, every Saturday they listen to these sermons from one of my teachers, right? His name is Unconditional Thero. And then I was curious, because if my parents could change that much, I have no idea what they had done, and I wanted to use it so I can get things done, right? So I tried to listen, and unfortunately, it was in Sinhala, right, in the native language of Sri Lanka. And living in the UK, I knew very little. Like if I was thrown to Sri Lanka, I probably would have eaten something, but not know where to go, because I knew how to say food, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, and so I tried, and I used to, because it's a different language, right? I wrote down these words and asked my parents, and my parents tried to explain, but they know very limited English. So once they gave, and also this there's this. He wasn't a monk at the time. At the time, he was a lay person giving sermons, and he also was teacher. He was a teacher as well, a tuition teacher. And so my parents pushed me towards his tuition. And while teaching, he would teach me parts of the Dhamma. Again, he wasn't very fluent in English. And so, again, there was some communication errors and all this, right? And then he pointed to me towards one of his friends, right? Who now he's a monk, right? But back then he wasn't. He's now, again, one of my teachers, Venerable Dharana Dassa Thero. And then every Sunday we would go to his house, and he would tell us, teach us slowly, one by one. And one day, both those teachers decided, you know what, they wanted to ordain. And both my teachers are decided to ordain. I thought, well, sure, I would want to do that too. But then I was scared. What would my parents say? And so I kept quiet. But then my parents they asked me if they gave me the choice of ordaining, would I ordain? I thought, I have no idea what happened, but they had given me the option. I said, yes, I'd like to ordain. And they said they'll come to Sri Lanka, and they said they would like to stay as well. But when they came to Sri Lanka, they found the place that was made was very simple, and my parents couldn't stay. My sisters, I have two sisters, right? They couldn't stay, so my mom could stay. My mom couldn't stay, my dad couldn't stay. So I was given an option: are you going to stay or go? So I went to my teachers and asked. By that time, he was ordained. I said, sir, like, my parents are now going to leave the country. I'll be all alone in Sri Lanka. Like, what should I do? Should I stay or should I go? And he said, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Come. And so I did. And that decision is a decision till this day I am so happy that I took. Till this day. So of course I still talk. I weekly talk with my parents, and they like they of course they're extremely happy that I took the decision as well, right? Because every time I talk to them, I tell them that this decision I took, this decision was the best decision I've ever made in my life. Because now I'm on a route with my teachers. Now in our monastery, we have, I think, about 80 monks. So it started with just one, then 9, and now there's 80. And there are around 80? 80, right? 80 monks and 80 anagarikas, so people who are training to ordain. And unfortunately, there's no nuns or bhikshunis, right? But there are anagarikas, so women who are also training to become bhikshunis. And then how many other? I think more than 50. More than 50.
Wow. That's great.
So yeah, so I have over 80 teachers. Oh, everyone who meets me, right, and gives me advice, they're my teacher. So yeah, I have over 80 teachers. If I named all of them, we'll be here for about.
That's amazing. That's really, really wonderful. Cool. And just for the record, where is this place? Can we visit?
Yes, we can visit. I don't know the address. Yes.
What's the monastery called?
It's called Chaitanya.
So it's in Ingi, the place called Ingi. In Sri Lanka.
Sure. So for those watching at home, if you want to visit, we're invited.
Yeah. There's an open invitation.
Wonderful. Can we do a dedication of parents?
Okay. Just take a moment to transfer all the merits we've acquired by making offerings to infinite virtues of Noble Triple Gem, chanting prayers, listening Dharma, and engaging in various mentors due to this. So first and foremost, let's remind ourselves how incredibly fortunate we are to bring a steal of Buddhist teaching, and with immense gratitude, let's transfer the merits to the Bhikshu, Bhikshunis, Upasakas, who in time immemorial have protected and preserved the sublime teaching of the Buddha and passed down to the generation of the noble lineage from Tripitaka, was thankfully available to us today to study, to understand, to comprehend Dharma. And so take a moment to transfer our merits to all the members of the Mahasangha present throughout the world, including the chief prelates of the chapters who dedicate their lives to the noble path and put themselves to the betterment of all sentient beings. Let's not forget among them will be the monks and nuns residing in local temples and nunneries who've always been by the side of thinking they come in shine. Let's also take a moment to transfer merits to your teachers, my teachers, and the Anagarikas and Anagarikas attached to the monastery. Let's also take a moment to transfer merits and express our gratitude to those who made great effort to disseminate the teaching of the Buddha, be that by transliterating sermons, sharing them out with others, inviting others to join them, may the paramedics may they abstain from the meritorious deeds, fulfill the meritorious deeds, fulfill the faithful path to the supreme symbol. Sad. Let's also take a moment to transfer merits to the friends of the Metta Center and friends of the monastery whose sake merits continue to sustain the Mahasangha. This includes every one of you who have contributed to the construction of these places. Those of you who offer alms, medicines, and clothes to the Mahasangha, and those who pass on the no hacks and the noble wishes, may the paramedics may they abstain from the meritorious deeds, fulfill the meritorious deeds, fulfill the faithful path to the supreme environment. Sadhu. Let's also take a moment to transfer merits to our mothers, fathers, grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, nephews, nieces, friends, and acquaintances, employers, employees, and to all the helpless, supported us, assisted us in any way, shape, or form. By the paramedics, may they be healed in any physical, mental ailments, may they overcome any obstacles in their spiritual progress. May they abstain from the meritorious deeds, fulfill the meritorious deeds, fulfill the faithful path, and attain the supreme bliss in Nibbana. Sadhu. Let's also take a moment to transfer merits to our ancestors, predecessors, to all those who've been friends and family to us in this infinite journey in Samsara. Let's also take a moment to transfer merits to all the members of the armed forces, the police force who have sacrificed their lives to protect the peace and harmony of our nation. May let's take a moment to transfer merits. May they be friend or foe, rejoice in the merits that we require today. Let's also take a moment to transfer merits to all those who lost life in natural calamities such as tsunamis, earthquakes, landslide, pandemics, reminding us of among them will be those who have been friends and family to us in this journey in Samsara. May by the paramedics, may if anything born of overplane, may they redeem themselves and born in discipline. May by the paramedics, may they abstain from meritorious deeds. Fulfill the meritorious deeds for who know if a path to the supreme bliss in Nibbana. Sadhu. And finally, my soul resolve, may the power and blessing of all the mercy required today, that we be witness the event of many hundreds of thousands of arahats in this blessed land. And finally, may the power of the mercy required today, you and I and everyone who made this program a success become an Arhat or Arhat meaning Vansi in this very life, in the era of the Gautam Supreme Buddha itself. Sadhu. May the blessings of the Lord Triple Chain be with you.